Hello guys. So in our previous tutorials, we were able to design our repository layer and also tested our repository layer using a console-based application. I will leave the link up there so that if you haven't watched it, you can go and watch that particular video. And please, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, click on the subscribe button and don't forget to click on the bell icon so that anytime you push any content on this channel, you'll be notified. Now, in this particular tutorials, we'll be focusing on the client side of our application. So we'll be designing a Windows Form application login page for our POS system. Let's get into it. So let's open our client layer and go to the desktop UI. Now we already have Windows Form 1 here. Let's first of all change the name to our login form. So let's make it FRM login and let's press enter. We get this prompt. Let's click yes. Now let's open our form. Then our login form, basically we have to have username, a place for username, and also for password. So let's go to our database and check how our login page is. So let me start fresh, select all, and that's how our user table is. So we have username and password. So let's start. So let's click on the two box. But if you are not seeing the two box here, just go to view and this is your toolbox. And the shortcut is Control Alt X. Great. So let's look for label, control, click and hold and drop it. Let's look for text box. Let's look for button as well because we're going to use button. Great. So first of all, I want to click on this and go to property. So right click your form, go to property. The shortcut is Control Alt Enter. Sorry. So first of all, I want to change the name of the form. The form right now is form 1. I want to change it to login. Then I also change the font of the whole application to, I want to make it 15. Yes. Now it has increased the whole application. I have to reduce it. Okay, let's reduce it. Okay. So let's have our username and so we are using the red line to guide the alignment. Very good. So I want to duplicate this one. So I'll click on this one, press Control, and click on this one. And I'll click and hold while I'm pressing Control to have my password. Great. So for the password, let's click on the password text box and go to the property side and look for, let's use system. Let's set the use system password char to true. So for example, if let's go to the test side and type something there. So this is how you see it. You see our password. You want to hide our password. Very good. So let's have a button here. I like big buttons like this. Let's select all of them, shape, arrange it all. Let's name the button as login. And let's have a label here just for the name of application. So welcome to, let's name it I am Kwame. POS software like this. Okay. You can use any name you want to, but I don't have to choose to use this name. Okay. Great, great. So let's add a picture to make it very nice. Let's go to Google, then search for picture. So let's say blog picture. Okay, so it gets something like this. Let's look for one. Okay, let's go through. I think I like this one. Let me right click and go to save image. I'll save it. Then you look for an image, picture box. Let's place it here, and we want to go and select our picture. So let's choose picture. So I just click here, choose picture, then we go to import. That's where you go and look for the picture we just download. There's it. I'll click OK, and I'll make it. Let's use stretch. Oh, okay, let's try zoom. No, let's stretch. Let's use a stretch. I think that one is better. So let's try and position it in a nice way. In fact, because of the color of this particular has influenced me, I want to use a white background. For my, yeah, so that they will blend a little bit. Okay. And let's change the button color and see if we can have a nice looking. Okay. Oh, why this one is not too nice. Okay. Something like this, I think, is not too bad. And I want us to use flat button, so let's go to flat style, then make it flat so that, yes. And let's change the font for color to white to make it a bit nicer. And let's go to the font side and make it bold. Yes. I don't think this, let's change the color. Color is not too nice for me. Let's make it close to this particular color. Okay, cool. Great. So this one, let's come down a little bit. Go up. Okay, Now let's have change password to change password button. Change password button. In fact, for the change password, let's use different control. Let's use link label. Link label. Make it so change let's make it forget password instead. Forgot password. I think it's too big. Or maybe the position. Let's be here. The font is too big for me. Can I see? Okay. And the blue color is not so nice. Okay. I think it's cool. Okay, great. And the last thing I want us to do is that I want us to also change click on the form. Let's go to property. And we want to change the dialog style. Look for dialog position. Let's make it center screen so that anytime we run it to be at the center of the screen. And let's remove the minimize button off from there. And let's pick, well, let me change this one too. This. Yeah, the form border style to fix dialog. No, let's try fix one. Yes, I think this one will not be bad. Let's try this one and see. No, I don't like this one. Let's try them and see the one we want. Okay, I think this one is fine. Great. So now the next thing we do is I have to name our controls. So let's click on this text box because we want to have access to this text box inside our code. So let's name them. Click on this one, go to name it as username. Name it as username. Let's name this one to as password. Let's name the button as button login. Yes, forgot password. Great. Now, let's go ahead and implement the login. But before we go there, let's change this. Let's go to border style and make it fixed border. And let's also go and change the auto size to false. So we can have something like this. And let's go to the text. Let's change this one to see system. Trying to see. Let's leave it as standard. Let's go to the text. Okay, the alignment side, let's make it center here. I think it's great. Okay. So let's double click on the login button and then implement our login functionality. So anytime we want to log into our system, we want to first of all check if the user exists in our database. So let's go to our repository. The last time we did it for the customer and the product. So let's create repository for our users. So let's go to create new class and let's make it user repository. Let's make it public. Okay. Let's just check our product repository and make some copy some of them. So increase work. Okay, let's reference this control dot again. Let's change this one. Very good. And let's have our function here that is public. Let's make it Boolean value so that it will return true when it's a valid password and false when it's not valid. So let's name the function is valid password, and this should accept username and password. Okay. So now what we will do is that we will check if the incoming username and password exists in the database. And with a link, we can use a very simple statement. So let's say var is valid equals to db dot, let's go to users dot any. We can use the any keyword. So the any will return true if the data exists and it will return false if it doesn't exist. So a dot where the username is equals to the incoming username and the a dot the password is equals to the incoming password. Okay, great. So now we can even choose to just return this because this will return true or false. So we can return here straight like this. Great. So this is how we will check the login password. Very good. So for our forgot password will be implemented later. So today we are focusing on validating the password, whether the password exists. And this code here is the same as saying that writing this code, saying those who are comfortable with SQL is the same as saying select all from users, sorry. This is because keyword, so let's convert it. Where username equals to, let's say, something, and password is equals to, let's cover it because it's also a keyword, equals to something like this. Now, so if this value returns something, it will return true. If not, it return nothing, then it means that the password doesn't, or the username doesn't exist. Good. So let's go ahead and call this, create an object of the repository in here. So we just created user repository. So let's reference it here. So let's say we want to make it private. So let's say let's make dp equals to new user repository. And of course, if you haven't referenced, you realize that inside our clients, in our first video, we did reference the data and the repository. So just press Ctrl dot and let's create a variable app here. Or of course, you can type it manually. It's a shortcut, but you can type it manually. Okay, fine. So now the next thing we do is that we will, anytime the person click on login, it will strike this button. It will fire this event. So the next thing we do is that we go ahead and check for the, let's say, is successful. Let's make it a success equals to dp dot is valid password. And this method accepts the username. So the username is the tst dot text box. Then the next one will be the password. Now, we have to check whether the user has even entered the text box, the username or the text box before we even submit it to this one. So let's do a simple if statement here. So if the text box, let's use string, let's use this string dot is null or empty, password dot text, or string dot, if any of either the text box or the username, sorry, either the password or the username is empty, then we will tell the user, we show a message box and tell the person, please enter your username and password. After that, we will return from the function because we don't want it to continue running because there's an error. So if everything is fine, then we go straight forward and hit this particular function. Now, for this particular function to return true or false, whether the password is successful or not. So what we do is that if the password is successful, we will log in. So this way we will log in. So we do this functionality later in our project, in our next videos. If this is not successful, then it means that it's invalid password. So we'll just tell the person username or password is, or username and password is not correct. Try again. Great. So if we run this project, we will get an error. And this is because we are referencing the DB context here, the user repository, and it's using the data layer. And of course, this is a client layer, so we have to have the connection string in our app.config. So we have to go and install Entity Framework inside the desktop UI. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's click on the reference, go to Manage Package. You need Internet. Let's search for Entity. This is what you need. Click on Install. Great. So we are done with that. Now, if you go to our app.config, we will find this there. Let's go back to our data repository and copy the connection string there. So like we are interested in this connection string, let's copy this one. Come back here. Paste it here. Save it. Great. So now let's run our application. Sorry. We have to change the startup project to our desktop UI. So this one. Let's run it again. Great. So can go ahead and type something. You see? Okay, so you realize that if I stand there and press tab, it doesn't come to the next line. We will fix that if you go back. And this one too is not in line with this one. You have to check that one. Let's click login. Very good. So it means that it's really working. It's telling us that the username and password is not correct. Try again. And of course, if you go to our database and we search for, we select all from users, there's no data there. So there's no user there. So no one can log in. So let's go back and fix this alignment thing and also fix the tab sequence. So that if you are here, you click on tab, it will come to the next line. Great. So let's do that. So to fix the tab thing, you will first of all, you will click, you go to the view and you will click on, you go to tab, let's look for tab order, this one, click on it. Now you realize that the tab order is 1, this one is 1, this is not good. So if you click on it, don't click anywhere, then start clicking on how you want it to flow. So you want this one to start first, after that this one, after this login, and again before this one. Great. After that, just go back, don't click anywhere again, and go and uncheck the tab order. Now we want to also align this one. So what we want to do is that we want to go to the property and we will make, we go to where we have our text, where's our text alignment to this one. So let's run it and see if you have, still we are having the same problem. Right, let's check and do it this way and see. Let's use the doc and see what, no. Let's remove this one and see. Let's run it again and see. Great. So it's working nice. So let's try the tab well too and see. Now the tab 2 is working. Great. So you see that it's here, 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 and back to there again. Now, before we can log in, we have to go and add some data inside our user table. So let's try over here and type some data in there. So let's say master, then let's say master. So our password is master. We have to type value here. Great. So now let's try it without anything and see. Now I'm saying enter your username or password. Very good. Then let's try master and master. So let's go and put breakpoints here and see if it will be successful. But let's see. Click OK. Now we see it. So we hover on this one. It's saying that it's successful. So let's show dialog here that pass. Remove the breakpoint and click on continue. Good. So our login page is working perfectly. So on our next video, what we will do is that we will design our dashboard for our POS application, and we will link the login page to our dashboard for our POS application. Thank you for watching this video, and please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and click on the bell icon so that anytime we upload new videos, you will see it. Bye bye.